What's happening, everyone? I am going to do a little bit of drawing today. It's a lot later than I expected, but it happens. That's what happens when you, exist. So I had an art request to do Zorro. So I think the reason why I had an art request to do Zorro is because someone or something or somehow there was I think there's it looks like there's a Zorro reboot or something, and so Zorro is I guess you would say on the popular zeitgeist, or is it zeitgeist, or basically the characters had a reboot, and he's kind of back in popular culture for a little bit. I don't know how long. I don't know how recent the reboot was. I just searched I did an online search, and what did I do? I don't know what I did. I did something. Anyways, here we are, and we're going to go ahead and do a bit of drawing of sorts and see where it takes us. It might take me somewhere, it might not, and that's okay. That is okay. So it's going to be a minute before anything like forms. Oh, I might as well move this into the picture frame a little bit. It's going to be a minute. I got an hour to draw this, and it usually takes me a good 30 minutes for like something to really establish itself. And that's just how it is. I don't really try. It's not like I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just how it is. Let's see here. We're going to do something like this. I'm going to do something like this to kind of get this bit of the odd bottom of the nose here, and then the halfway mark of this kind of signifies the bottom of the eye. There's a lot more going on, but I'm trying to simplify it. And this is supposed to be the brow line, and then you got a shape for the nose, a shape for this, and then something like this. So I think I started out already off. I always do this. I think I started with a little bit of, I don't know, drawing the image kind of small. The gap between the eyes is usually the gap between is usually the width of another eye. So you have an eye, invisible eye, eye. So or in thirds. So this is kind of like a third between each other. This is supposed to account for the bottom of the eye socket. Let's see. Okay. Now I think I have maybe a bit of a I might have a little bit of the structure being made here. That kind of works. Kind of work from there. Now let's go ahead and have a sip of coffee, and then we're gonna go start drawing some of the details. Actually, I started out with a blue pen. Do I want to continue and move into with a black pen with the details? Let's try that out this time. I know I talked about how I was started out with a black pen last time, and I should have started out with a blue pen as like an understructure, and then go draw. I'm drawing Zorro, and then go on top of it with like a black pen. So I'm gonna try that. Stay in Wisp and the Tractor. What? I don't know what you're asking. Could you ask it differently? Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and try to draw Zorro. Let's see. Let's go ahead and we're going to start by, I think the jawline is kind of there. Like it's kind of there. Let's see, get my pen to work there, do a little scribble. It's giggling. Oh, I'm not much of a giggler unless I say something funny. So I think the jawline's fine. I think we're just going to go and kind of put that in there. This Zorro actor has got a very, very strong jawline. So I think I can kind of give him a heroic chin. Actually, I think I kind of fibbed already. It's actually flatter on the bottom here. And I might be able to correct that later on via using like shading. But I think the overall shape's okay. I'm going to draw lightly. Just draw ever so lightly until I feel that the marks are kind of going in the direction that I want them to go. And then what I'm noticing is he has this shawl, like fabric, his cape or whatever. His cape is on top of his neck here. And we're just going to go ahead and draw something like that. A little bit of a shawl here. Oh, you know what? You might be right. Maybe someone asked me to draw Zorro from One Piece. I thought they meant Zorro from some reboot. Oh man, I'm gonna have to write that down later on. Jeez. Well, it's too late now. I've already started doing Zorro. I'll have to do Zorro from One Piece tomorrow, I guess, or something. I kind of thought it was strange that someone requested me to draw Zorro. So okay. I think I wrote down Zorro, but the person didn't specify. You know? I could draw a realistic Zorro. I don't know. I could try, but I'm gonna go with Zorro, like the classic Zorro, which is probably what Zorro is based off of, anyways, because he's a swordsman and Zorro is a swordsman, and that's how it kind of goes. But I will do that next time. It didn't even occur to me because I didn't. Normally, people when I get a request, everyone specifies like which Zorro, and maybe they didn't specify, or at the time I didn't ask. I don't know. So I think the hat is somewhere around here, and it's tilting down. I've been drawing a lot of hats lately. I am not. It's been a learning experience putting a hat on a person, because the hats, they look weird. When I draw them, they look weird. They don't look like they go on top of their head. It doesn't look like it's on the person's head. It looks like it's kind of floating on top, and so I need to practice that, I guess, in the future. All right. So let's see here. We're going to draw a nose like this, and you don't even really see the nose. It's kind of like just kind of peeping below, and then underneath there's some shadow, and then there's a lot of area. Let's go ahead and get that little part underneath the lip. I don't know what that's called. I used to know what it was, but now I don't. And let's go ahead and draw what I see to be kind of like the general shape of the lips here. Again, not really an expert at this stuff. I just kind of draw with what I see, and if I capture it, great. If I don't, oops, I made a mistake, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do something like this. I think I made his bottom lip appears to be a little bit narrower than his top lip, and I think I puckered up his lips a little bit more than they really are, I gave him like good old Percy lips. Yeah, the other hat was pretty good. I did a pretty good job on getting it on there. This one I might have to like do a little bit of fiddling around, but I think we'll be able to get to it. I think I will be able to manage it, and that's usually how things are. Is like usually I start out kind of rough. Things start out rough, and then I'm able to kind of get things in order later on. Now I can't tell what is happening in the eyes. Like, I don't know if he's wearing a bandana with a mask on top of the bandana. You know, it kind of looks like that. And I can't tell what's happening inside here. Like, I don't know. It's really dark. It's all dark here. Hey, how you doing? It's all dark down here in this area. So I can only see a little bit of what's happening with the eyes. So I can, I might be able to use that to my advantage, actually. You know, I might be able to use that to my advantage and just kind of hint at it, I guess. Kind of hint at the eyes, I guess. So we're just going to go and do something like that. And all this is all on like shadow. So you really don't see what's happening in this area. It's all like shadowy. So if it turns out weird, it's not because I just kind of messed it up. Yep, I'm messing it up. I messed it up. We're done. All right, I'm done. See you later. I'm kidding. I'm going to have some more coffee. Thanks for the follow. And we're going to... I think what I need to do is we got to jump in. We got to do like just jump into deep end a little bit. Just make some decisions and just go with it. So the mask appears to go farther out than I'm giving credit. So we're going to just kind of extend it out here past his jawline, then, which makes sense because there's this. I'm also making this way too dark, but that's what happens when you make corrections. And then his ear just kind of pops out on this side right here. On the other side of his face, the mask kind of protrudes a little bit, I guess, a little bit on the top, but it sweeps in earlier, or sweeps in more on the bottom area of his face. So it's a little bit asymmetrical. It's not level. It's kind of tilted at an angle like that. And so we're going to go ahead and draw this right here. And what might help me is I'm going to start adding some just adding a little bit of value to kind of get an idea of how things are going to go, because this right side, the right side of his face, it's actually his left, but the right side that I'm on it's all dark. It's not like pitch black dark, but it is all in cast shadow. So it might help me to discern what I need to do with the drawing is adding dark, like a shadowy area on the right side, to kind of get an idea of where I need to be placing shadow and so forth. And just like before. Okay, now his ear on this side, it's not symmetrical. It looks like it's pinched in. Maybe he pinched it in a little bit. Like maybe the bandana of sorts is actually like overlaying on top of his ear, and so it's kind of pinched in. It doesn't even look like an ear. It looks like I don't know what it looks like. It looks like something that's not an ear. How about that? And so we got the cheek. Let's go ahead and do this. And then the neck, I think I kind of discredited his jawline a little bit. Underneath his neck is very little space, which means the shawl that I drew right here, it needs to be higher up, like somewhere like right there. So that's what I'm doing. It's like I'm drawing, but I'm making corrections. I'm using a reference. Can anyone learn to draw, you think? Anyone can learn to draw, man. Some people are able to do it quicker, learn quicker. Some people will take a lot longer. You just have to do it. Like anything that you want to do, like you want to be good at something, what it takes is the only thing that makes the only factor that's different is time. Like people that you see or that are good at something, they weren't good at it when they first started. There's like very few, like you don't see a lot of kids just like, you might see those videos of like a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old like playing like really good, they're playing the piano really well. And like they're only 3 years old. So like they're an outlier where they've only played the piano for a year and they're amazing, you know? That is an outlier. That is not the case with everyone. People have to spend time on it. And it might be 10 years. You know, it might be 2 years. It could be a million years. I don't know. What I'm saying is anyone can learn how to do these things. Really what it boils down to is how much you want it, how bad you want it, and if it's valuable to you. If it's valuable to you, then you will spend time on it. If it's not, you won't spend time on it. Sometimes, you know, it's valuable to me, so I want to get better at it. So I spend time on it. And I'm not even that good when I like compare myself to like the world of artists. But, you know, and I'm not, it's not me versus the world. It's me versus me, essentially. So if I'm not that good, that's okay. I can always improve, you know, and that's all right too. But anyone can learn how to draw. Anyone can learn a new skill, you know. It's not out of your reach. It really just boils down to kind of sitting down and working on it. And I don't know. I don't think I'm getting the face right. Let's see. I think there we go. I think the lip goes a little further on this side. Since it's later in the day, like it's later in the day for me, the time crunch is very present. So I'm really aware of how much time I have and really concerned about that. Normally I do these live streams like in the morning. And when I do them in the morning, I have a little bit of forgiveness, meaning that like I can draw longer, or I can stand to not get the drawing finished or as finished because I can spend a little bit more time on it than normal. But during the day, like for me, this time of day, like it's like almost noon. It's noon and I'm still drinking coffee. How about that? This time of day. So what I think is there needs to be more space up top for his I guess hat, and then there needs to be just a little bit of because this right underneath here is very dark, so I probably could stand to make this area right underneath here. We could just simplify this and make the area above here, I think, pretty dark. So I'm going to start by making it just darker than normal. And I want to go fast, But I don't want to go too fast because, you know, if you ever try to shade and you go too fast, you know how like you shade and then you go past the lines. We want to avoid that. We want to avoid going past the lines. Normally, what I would do is I would really go slow at this, but I'm trying to kind of expedite the entire process, expedite the uh, the process of doing this drawing as quickly as possible. So I am. I don't know. I think I make him look. I'm making him look kind of like cross-eyed. That's no good. We don't want that. We don't want a cross-eyed Zorro. I can't tell where the like the eye holes are at or where they begin and end because it's so dark. You know, there's a lot of cast shadows. There's a lot of shadows happening inside this area. So I don't know what is particularly happening too well. So I have to kind of like just kind of go by shadow and try to render the shadow better so that it feels like what I'm seeing. Like I feel like there's this curved area right here that's really, really dark. You know, like really dark. And then this isn't. Oops. And then like I feel like the eye and the eyebrow or the eyelid on the top is dark. And the eye is really dark, but I can't see the iris. And then there's these areas right here. Isn't it Saturday? It's Saturday, isn't it? I keep thinking it's like Sunday or something. This area right here is really dark. Almost, you don't even see, technically it's like, I would say it's like black, you know? And we're just going to go ahead and add like a dark tone right here. And then go ahead and do something like that. I think that's pretty good. It kind of looks like it's not perfect. I could spend a lot of time kind of fiddling around with it. There's a lot more that I need to account for. But I think mainly with this drawing right now is I might need to kind of like focus on the value and not necessarily like the like where things are at. Like, because you really, half his face is covered in a mask, so you really don't, there's not a lot of landmarks other than his mouth, you know, and part of his neck. So you don't have to worry about like that with regard to the drawing. So you have to spend more time kind of probably dealing with value than anything else, you know. So that's what I'm going to kind of deal with in this one. If I can get the mask area kind of looking okay, I think we'll be good. No, I'm using a reference. So I'm not really drawing from imagination. I'm using a reference to help me with this. So we're going to go ahead and add. Okay, I think that kind of helped a little bit. But it is really dark. Like, it is really dark underneath here. I'm probably discounting it. I probably need to really push it more. And then he's got this thing happening here, and then he's got underneath his nose. Underneath here, there is a shadow happening underneath the mask that I'm going to emphasize, I think. And we're going to go ahead and do that. It's underneath the nose area. It's really dark right here. And so we're going to go ahead and make this darker. And this is going to be more of a value shading issue than a drawing and form issue, because there's a lot of little bitty things happening that we need to address. All right, and the top of his lip is darker, like this. Now I don't know how far I'm going to get on this. I'm going to try. I'm at 35 minutes, and I've been going real, like, this is what happens. I always get these requests to do, like, semi-realistic things, and realistic things for me just take too long, because I have to kind of break it down, and I think I have I just don't see things well, and I didn't do a good job blending this, if I'm going to be honest with you. So I think this needs to be a little bit darker. I think I can darken this up. Still can make this. I think there's this area right underneath here that can just pop, because I think there's this fabric underneath his eye that I can't really tell, but I feel like there's something overlapping that. And shading happening here. He was, oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot. There can be artists that are full of themselves, I guess. I guess if you're making a lot of money, you can be full of yourself. I try to be like grounded, you know. You did art similar to him, and he felt that there was no possible way I could have been close to him. Like, no way you do art like mine. My art is what'd you call it? It's one of a kind. You can't do it. There's no way. No possible way. It's no one can counterfeit my work. It is uncounterfeitable. No way. There's no possible way. Let's see. The hat is pretty wide, actually. I think I got the hat size pretty, like the width right, but it feels like it's kind of tilted. I wonder if I can do it. It's like, wow, dude, unfollowed. No possible way you draw anything. You do anything like that I do. Everything I do is one of a kind. Like like a lot of people do, similar stuff to other people, or similar themes. I think I'm making the bowl of the hat really big. It looks cartoonish. I feel like it's going to be. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm at a loss at the moment. I'm kind of just trying to, because he's kind of tilted down, and I don't think I'm capturing that. I think I kind of like put like a silly hat on top of him. I deserve more followers. Yeah, I feel like I deserve more followers too. I think I do some pretty good work. It's kind of like where I live. I felt that I feel like I should sell more artwork, but I feel like I do pretty good work. But I guess people don't think that way. I don't know. If I talk about it, I'll get bitter. La 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 la. I don't know if I'm doing this right. It's kind of like where does everything begin and end here on his face? And I feel like the lip kind of goes towards his eyes. I'm trying to make it seem like, well, I'm trying to capture the image that I'm drawing from, but I don't have a lot. I'm not like one of those fast artists or fast drawers where I just kind of capture people's likeness really, really quickly. Like there's the artist that like videos himself on like a train ride, and he draws a person during the whole train ride. Like either the train ride's an hour long or 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes long, or he's just really fast. I don't think I got the shape right, and that's okay. We'll just accept it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get those eyes right, because I'm trying to get the eyes right, but like it's all dark. Like this whole area is all dark, so I don't know where. Like on this side right here, you just see a little bit of the white area and a little bit of the iris. The rest is all in cast shadow essentially, and then the eye right here. It's all in shadow essentially, and I can't tell. I'm having a hard time discerning shape because it's all in shadow, and I'm trying to think of like I'm just trying to think of like where things are placed in, and I think I misplaced. I messed up the eyes. Like this eye might be a little too high. Just stuff like that, and this is what happens when you're working from a reference. It's always find it better. I always typically do a better drawing if I do the drawing like twice or like do a couple sketch runs, you know. But when I do these live art streams, when I do these lives and I get requests to do a drawing, I don't have the luxury to kind of like just let's do a practice run, Essentially my practice run is the live. So if it fails, it fails. If it doesn't fail and it just turns out well, like great, I did a good job. Pat on the back, round of applause, cue the fireworks, right? But if I don't do a good job, like I just have a bad drawing in my sketchbook. That's really it all amounts to, and that's okay, man. I think we always worry about like, oh no, what if I make a bad drawing? Like, well, you're gonna make a lot of bad drawings to begin with, Like you're just gonna have bad drawings, okay? Even the great artists are gonna do bad drawings. They're not. They won't show it. They're not gonna show it. I show my bad drawings because all my drawings are bad. I'm kidding. Where'd I get the sketch? I had to go. Where'd I get the reference from? Google. Just do this search and try to find the one that works. So just did a little quick Google search, and I know people use Pinterest, and Pinterest is actually quite amazing because what's on Pinterest is not on Google, which is crazy to me. Like if you look up like I don't remember, but like they would show like images of like how to draw the arm or how to draw the leg. There's a ton of those references on like Pinterest, but if you try to do the same thing on Google, you get like you just get garbage, So like Pinterest has some amazing stuff. Like people that are on Pinterest really go deep in the internet, man. They go deep into the internet. They find some stuff that you just like you can't find. Google search engines really suck, man. They just skim the surface, They're just like sifting at the top. And even if you go deep into the search engine, like you scroll a couple pages in, you still can't get anything. You can't get anything. It doesn't show anything. Google as a search engine sucks. It sucks. It doesn't work well. How are they still in business? I don't know. Like, cause it doesn't work well. Like it just gives you like the most popular answer, and it used to not do that. It used to just show everything, and it wouldn't repeat everything. Like if you scroll a couple pages in, you find that it's almost showing the same websites over and over again. You have a great day too. Hey, yes, drawing Zorro today. Don't know if I'm going to get them done. I have 26 minutes and I'm still just kind of, I don't know. I feel like this is what I get a lot of requests for like realistic people, and I just can't complete them in the time required. For one, a few reasons why. I'm not really good at drawing realistic characters or people at this scale. Just takes me a little bit of time. My default scale for like portraiture is 18 by 24 inches. It's large. You know, I do not like drawing portraits at a small scale, but I get a lot of requests for portraits, and I don't want to what's it called, disappoint, and so I try to do it, much to I guess my dissatisfaction or my chagrin or whatever phrase or term you want me to use. But it doesn't backfire, but I don't necessarily complete the drawing because it takes me a while to kind of capture these things. But I think in the future there will be a silver lining out of all this. Out of all these art requests, there will be a time where someone will request a realistic person that I have to draw, and I'll be like, easy peasy, just piece of cake. I'll knock this out in no time. You know, it'll become second nature to me eventually. All right. And then I'll be like, this is nothing. This is easy sauce. Behind this eye, right around this eye, there's a lot of shading happening here. And then there's some shading happening like right here that's like dark. So we're just going to add like a dark shadow right here. And then we're going to go ahead and shadow be right here. I don't think this always happens. You know, whenever you eye placement is key, and I don't think I got the eye placement right, but we're just going to have to go with it. We're going to go with the flow and just kind of keep it that way. But that's okay. The thing about that I'm kind of struggling with is because this is Zorro, like his whole you haven't missed the Squid Games drawing. That's gonna be a while. I got so many requests. Squid Games is, where is Squid Games? Oh, on the next page at the very bottom, and I still got this page to do. So I have so many requests. Pinterest works really good. I think I have an account. I'm not sure. I got in on Pinterest when it was like just starting out, and I liked it, but like it's like a social media platform, you know, and I just didn't have time for it. It's just another like platform that I don't have a lot of time for, you know. And I think the upper part right here could be darker. Something like that will be good. And then we're going to have to make this darker. And then we're going to have to add the edge of the hat starts somewhere like right here, and then the edge of his hat on this side starts past the ear. So like the edge of the hat, like the rounded part of the hat starts like somewhere right here, like a little bit past. Yeah, that's about right. And then the edge of his hat starts somewhere right here. So like I'm using the ears as guides to kind of determine where the brim of the hat kind of starts. Can I post that one? Talking through my lives. Why do I do a lot of I think a lot of like I don't watch a lot of art lives, but I've seen a few occasionally, and then a lot of them are very silent, you know. I'm messing up this brim of the hair. Oops, the hat. He doesn't have any hair. So a lot of them are very silent, and it's curious to me because how is it this person has like 500 people watching this person draw, but they're not saying a darn thing. They're not saying anything. They're just like drawing, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, he's drawing so good. I can't believe it. I'm gonna watch him draw, and he's not gonna say a darn thing. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful." Oh my gosh. But yeah, they like they don't say anything, and they have like a massive following. I'm like, "Oh man, you suck, dude." I'm like, I'm talking the entire time. I have only a few people viewing, which I'm very appreciative of. But like, there's groups, there's artists that they're like dead silent the entire time, and they have like the equivalent of a small continent watching them. I'm like, what is going on here? Are these bots? Is this guy paying for bots to watch him? You know, so you can go around bragging about it. Oh man, I had over 5,000 bots watching me draw. Are you sure they're not bots? Like, yeah, no, yeah. So I try to talk the entire time. Yeah, well, I get that. I get that. It's hard to do both. I'm not gonna lie. It is hard to do both. It is hard to focus on the art, the drawing, and to talk at the same time. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of my drawings do not get done, is because I just don't have. I ran out of time. I spent a lot of time kind of talking, but you know, how do you engage with your audience? How do you grow your audience? How do you gain a rapport with the people that you are watching you draw? You know, when you don't articulate and have a converse with them, how do you do that? Why would someone watch someone draw if they don't say a darn thing? They don't even acknowledge anyone is watching. You know, maybe they do acknowledge them. I don't know. I don't watch. So maybe they're like, thank you, thank you, thank you for the like, thank you so much, thank you. They talk like super ASMR style, like. So now I'm gonna be doing a little bit of drawing right now, adding a little bit of shading right here. I don't think this area is dark enough, so I am going to darken it up. I can almost make it pitch black like this. So I'm gonna make it pitch black and see. Well, not really pitch black, but maybe a little pitch black, like right around. Well, we're just gonna make it pitch black and see what happens. Or we're gonna knock it down a shade like this. Some people like that. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for watching my live stream. I'm gonna be. I hope you can hear that the pen scribbling on the paper. I know a lot of you like that pen noise scraping on the paper like this. Next time I'm going to get a mic and put it on top of the paper so you can hear it at a super high level. But yeah, there's a lot of people that do that ASMR voice, and they're always like clicking and stuff. They're like I don't know. They're like they have a glass jar, or they have like some slime, and they're like making slime noises or something. And yeah, there's a whole genre on TikTok of people just making ASMR content. You know, I can get it. I get the appeal because it sounds interesting if you have like headphones. If you have headphones and you're like hearing these noises, apparently it calms people down. I don't know, but doesn't calm me down. But I assume, yeah, you're probably right. There's probably a lot of anime artists on here, and the drawings that I do are not dictated by me. I'm not choosing these. This is someone wanted me to draw Zorro. Only real drawers can draw realistic, I guess. I think, yeah, like to some extent, maybe there might be some truth to that. If you go on in TikTok and you see the majority of artists are drawing anime art, and you go on TikTok and you see one person not drawing anime art, and then you see that same person the next day drawing anime art, and then you see that person the next day drawing cartoon art, then you see that person the next day drawing something else, comic art. You know, you might, I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm more rounded, but I think I'm pretty rounded out. I've done a lot of different type of work. I've done really abstract work. I've done realistic work. I've done cartoonish style work. So I think my well to pull from as an artist is bigger than some artists. But you don't necessarily have to have a versatile library of skills to make it as an artist. You can be, really good at one thing, and a lot of artists are really good at one thing, and I am not taken away from that. Me personally, I don't have like a passion for like one style or one thing, so I'm always kind of doing different things. Like I'll do something for a while, I might do this, I might do a realistic, I might go, I do a bunch of style paintings in one theme for a while, and then I'm like, I'm tired of that, and I do something else for a while. But I don't stick to one thing because I guess my what is it like? My I guess I have squirrel brain, like squirrel brain. That's what it is. I have squirrel brain. Let's just put it that way. Where I just kind of wander. Like, oh, look at that. That's so pretty. Let's do this for a while. Or I see another artist doing something like, oh, that artist is really good at doing this. Let's practice this. Let's draw like that. Actually, I don't draw other people's styles. Yeah, technically I kind of am. But like I'm not doing it purposely. I'm not doing it with the intent of like copying that person. I just find it. I don't know. I'm rambling. I don't know if it's a good thing. All right, man. Well, thank you. Hey, Mr. Pineapple, how you doing there? That name's funny. That gives me I LOL on the inside after I've seen Mr. Pineapple. You know what? Pineapples are really good at reducing inflammation. So if you're an older person and you have you have arthritis or inflammation, or if you work out and you are sore, eating pineapple helps reduce that inflammation of the muscle. So some people do that. Some bodybuilders eat pineapple to kind of reduce inflammation. The more you know. Do 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 do. Boo 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 boo. We're gonna go ahead and darken this area more. Just really bear down on some of this, on some of the tones here. Just really go to town on it, And then we're going to go ahead and darken this side of his lip a little bit more because it's in shadow. And then we're going to go ahead and just darken this some more. And then there's an area right. Let's go ahead and just kind of darken this area some more like that. And we're just going to keep darkening areas until I feel that they don't need to be darker. Boom, 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 boom. And let's go ahead and darken behind this a little bit, just making sure it's like darker than the neck. Something like that will be good. You love pineapples? yeah, they're pretty good. And then we're gonna go ahead and I think this right here, and I think the brim of the hat is something like that. It might even be going up a little bit on one side. And then underneath there's that, and then something like that. I think that's good. But I think above here, And then I think maybe this can go up above this a little bit, like that. It's okay. And then we're just going to go ahead and darken this again. Let's go and darken this area. And we're just going to keep darkening spots of sorts. Yep. And we're just going to keep playing around with the value. I got 9 minutes left. So I don't know how much more I'm going to get done. I might be able to like play around with shading on a kind of like a sketchy level to kind of like just mass out areas, you know, just quickly mass out an area that I could possibly, like right here, he's got that cloth band around. And then this whole side right here is going to be darker-ish. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of quickly add something like that. Now, I'm not going to get all of this shaded in. I'm just not, because I only have 8 minutes, and I don't have enough time to kind of work through the kinks of the drawing value-wise, shading-wise. So we're just going to have to kind of like cut our losses per se on some of these. And that's usually what happens with these is I usually run out of time, and I don't have the time to kind of work fully to the level that I like on the drawing. So I kind of do like just a little sketchy, like this feels like it's off, you know. Technically this is in shadow, which means this area is darker. How much darker? I don't know. I'd have to fiddle around with it. But I know it's darker than the cast shadow that's happening, because there's a light source happening on this side as well. And so that's usually one of the things that I'm struggling with. Yeah. And we're going to have to shade this part. And we're going to shade this part. And then there is some shading, kind of like, it's kind of darker, you know. So let's go ahead and just kind of really kind of add some pressure to the drawing and just kind of make it darker on this area like this. I'm going to do something like this and so forth. And we're just going to keep adding. Really, because of the time frame, I have 6 minutes. I don't have enough time to like really darken the areas that I want, but I want to kind of give a hint to how dark some of these areas would be. So I'm just going to kind of slowly give like really scratchy cross hatching, which essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like scratchy cross hatching until the time runs out. And then hopefully that will help kind of define these forms a little bit more for the viewer to make sense of what's happening. Because over here is really dark. You know, here it's lighter. Like this area is lighter. It's more reflective than the hat. The hat's like a dark felt. So I kind of have to make the top of the hat feel like it's a darker than this area. You know, this whole area is quite dark. It's darker than the top of the hat. So I gotta try to quickly just add some shading here, kind of make it feel like it's darker than the top of the hat. This area and this area, they're very similar if I squint at it, they're almost the same tone. Like this little cloth can get as dark as the felt hat, but it has it's kind of like more of a, it's shinier as a fabric, so it can reflect more light. And there's an area underneath the chin, maybe like this area right here that I probably could darken up a little bit. And then I know the area underneath the chin could stand to be darker than what I'm giving credit, so that can make the chin kind of pop out a little bit more, you know? So we make it a little bit darker, like so. And then we can go ahead, and I don't think I did it. I think I messed up, but we're just going to try to figure out how we can conceal that error. It's okay, though. And underneath here could stand to be darker. Underneath the nose could be a little bit darker. There's some cast shadows here that I don't think I captured too well, but it's so subtle, and I don't know if I have enough time to kind of really express how subtle. I'm going to make this area darker again. Really trying to make the this area darker than it probably is, like exaggerating it a bit, because I think I need the eyes to kind of pop to some degree. There's a light source happening, not this way, but kind of happening over here, and this is kind of lighter, but I don't have time to fix it, and I think I made the space here too wide, but I don't have time to fix it. Hey, how you doing, man? And then there's this over here. There is the brim of the hat. I'm not capturing it right. I didn't do a good job of getting that brim of the hat there. Is darker, so I'm just going to quickly scribble that in, because we're kind of like doing a sloppy shading job now because of the amount of time that I have left. So if you're wondering why it's not as developed in some areas that as it is in others, it's because I'm running out of time, and I'm just trying to kind of like make it feel more complete without having to define everything. Hey, thank you, appreciate you. Yeah, I think it's turning out all right. I only have a few more minutes, and then I gotta stop it for the day. You know, I just gotta stop it. I can't keep drawing on it. I don't have the time. I don't have the time anymore. Like time's running low, if you know what I mean. Like I'm on a finite, very, very tight time schedule, and sometimes I just have to, I don't know. I have to draw fast, or fast and kind of sloppy, actually. This feels very sloppy to me. You know, like I'm just trying to, let's go ahead and see if I can kind of mass out. Let's just do like some lines here that kind of show like his maybe his like shoulders or something. You know, thanks for the follow, by the way. Appreciate you, man. And then we're gonna go ahead and just kind of really quickly add like a light tone like this. Just something to kind of make the background feel like it's contributing to the picture. Just a really light and quick tone. Do the same on this side. So it turned out all right. It doesn't look like the photo that, like the image that much, but it was a good experiment, and there was some qualities in this drawing that I kind of liked, and it was a good little practice run. And that's really what all boils down to, is like each one of your drawings is kind of like just a little, they're all little bitty studies. And each time you do a drawing, those studies compound and you get better and better and better and better. And that's always a good thing. If you get just a little bit better each day, you might not even notice it, right? You might not even notice it. But if you get a little bit better each day, by the end of the year, you'll be a lot better than you were at the very beginning. And you won't notice it. It kind of just creeps on you. It's kind of like this term that you hear in manga and anime, power creep, where like anime characters, like they just get ever more stronger and stronger and stronger, and they just never stop getting stronger. And then like, I think that's what it's called. I think that is what it stands for. I'm not super familiar. And then you're like, where's the limit? How do you know who's stronger now? They're all so strong. Every character is so powerful. And so you just have to kind of go with the flow, I guess. Anyways, I got to get going. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and you have a wonderful Saturday. Cheers.